are all governed by the DA. DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Welcome to a broadcast of the Democratic Alliance. Did you know the Democratic Alliance is the stable anchor of the Government of National Unity? DA ministers and DA deputy ministers are getting things done with a special focus on job creation and economic growth, driving down the cost of living and placing the needs of the people first. Join the mission to rescue South Africa. The next broadcast will start shortly. Did you know the best run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA? DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Let's rescue South Africa. Join the DA, because the DA gets things done.
Dr. Meyer, I need you this side, please. Mark there.
Karabo.
Yeah.
Just nearly killed me with that thing.
Viva DA, viva!
Viva!
Halala DA, halala!
Halala!
Hoi hoi DA, hoi hoi! Africans, good morning. My name is Karabo Khakhau. I am the DA's national spokesperson. We're coming to you live here outside the Western Cape Division of the High Court. Joining me here today is the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance, that is Dr. Ivan Meyer. I'm also joined by the DA's chief whip in parliament, that is George Michalakis, as well as our DA spokesperson on finance, that is Dr. Mark Burke. Now, colleagues, today's fight is very simple and clear, one that resonates with all South Africans. Nobody has money to pay more for food. Nobody has money to pay more for baby formula, for school shoes and basic living. And our fight today in this court that will be heard is one that says we want an urgent interdict as a matter of urgency against a VAT hike. That is the fight that the Democratic Alliance has committed to, and those are the arguments that are going to be heard now. 8 days from now, 9 if you include today, will be the 1st of May. As the Democratic Alliance, together with South Africans, we're saying down with this sort of thing. Pansy with VAT, pansy. We do not want to have that, and that is the call we're making. That was just my introduction. I'm now going to hand over to our chief whip in parliament, George Michalakis. Halala, George, halala.
Halala.
Good morning. As you know, the Democratic Alliance is before court today to challenge the increase of VAT to 15.5% that the Minister of Finance unilaterally imposed. Along with that, we are also challenging the procedural legality of the fiscal framework that was passed last month in Parliament by the ANC and smaller parties. The question that we would like the court to answer is whether the Minister can announce a VAT increase that finds effect on the 1st of May before Parliament has ratified this. Whether he can do this without Parliament, the representatives of the people, approving it. A tax that is very difficult to overturn once it has been imposed and which likely does not enjoy the support of the majority of Parliament. We are saying no.
Sure.
A minister exercising powers to impose tax laws before they are approved by Parliament strikes at the heart of the principle of separation of powers. The lawmaking authority lies with Parliament. Along with that, we are arguing that the procedure followed to adopt the fiscal framework on which all the money bills that must follow is based was flawed and should be overturned. Should we be successful, it would in fact mean that the process might have to start anew. You will be able to find the detailed arguments on the law in the papers that we filed, and I'm not going to go through the merits of these arguments. That is a matter for our legal team, and you will be able to hear these arguments this morning and report on them. However, it is important for me to state the following. Today's court case is not only about VAT and the fiscal framework. This is an important part of the fight, but at the core of what we are campaigning for lies something much more important: the ability of individuals to feed their families, to pay their bills, and to find a job. Today's court case will answer important questions that will be instrumental in developing our law when it comes to the budget going forward. We've never been in a situation where the budget has been challenged, and this is good for our democracy. It is what you would expect from a parliament that is emerging from 30 years of being a rubber stamp and all the challenges that go along with it. And the DA is at the forefront of protecting our democratic institutions and its processes.
Sure.
But the bigger fight is this. If we do not grow South Africa's economy by passing a pro-growth budget, everyone will be worse off, and it is the poorest who will suffer first. If we increase taxes of any kind at this point, everyone will suffer and the poor will suffer first. If we borrow more, the economy will slow down, everyone will suffer, and the poor will suffer first. We cannot allow this. Instead of putting a further burden on South Africans, including the poor, by taxing them even more, we need to find other ways of finding the money to fund our schools and our hospitals. And it starts by stopping the culture of wasted money. We need to cut wasteful spending. We need to review the manner in which we spend the budget and on what. And we need to make sure that everything we spend it on focuses on two things: growing the economy and creating jobs. This is what the commitment was that we made to voters when we entered the GNU and we said we would rescue South Africa. It is a fight we are committed to, and that is why we are in court today. An increase in VAT, no matter under what circumstances, is not the answer. The answer is fiscal discipline, putting economic growth first. That is how we get the poor out of poverty, and we create the kind of economy that will attract investment and create jobs so that people can reach their full potential and live the lives that they value, no matter who you are or where you come from. I want to thank you all for coming today to report on this very important case that affects each and every South African and every person in this country. And I want to thank our supporters for standing with us in this fight. Thank you.
Good word. Vorentoe, dia vorentoe. Amandla. Now, Democrats, this is very clear. We know very well that the problem here is not only the fact that people want to tax us, but they want to tax us because they do not want to cut the fat of fruitless, irregular, and wasteful expenditure that they are beneficiaries of. And we are saying, as the Democratic Alliance with us in the GNU, that day will never rise again. Ours is to be a vanguard for South Africans. Ours is to fight to make sure that we protect South Africans. I'm handing over now to the federal chairperson of the Democratic Alliance. Hoi hoi, Dr. Meyer, hoi hoi. Hoi hoi.
Okay.
South Africa, today we stand here at the High Court in Cape Town and we say no more taxes on the poor, the working class, and even the middle class. VAT is a regressive tax. It is more pain onto the people, the poor, and the working class in South Africa. A VAT increase is a clear sign that the ANC is a government that does not care for South Africans. A VAT increase is a sign that we have a government that is out of touch with the people. But why is a VAT increase not a good idea, and why are we fighting it today here in court? A VAT increase will lead to higher prices for goods and services. People will pay more. It will lead to reduced consumer spending. Consumers will have less money in their pockets, less money for food. It will also lead to food inflation. And businesses will pass on the VAT increase onto the consumer through higher prices. But businesses will also be affected because lower consumption will affect their profit margins. When consumers spend less, the economy will contract and people will even lose their jobs. The government of national unity has three priorities. Create inclusive economic growth. VAT will erode inclusive economic growth. The second priority of the government of national unity is to reduce poverty. This VAT increase will increase poverty. The third priority of the government of national unity is to build a capable state. A capable state never punishes the poor. And so, how can this government do this to the people who are already suffering through high unemployment? The ANC doesn't care about the poor, the working class, and the general South African public. The cost of living crisis will deepen with the VAT increase. Maar dames en heren, ek dink ek moet dit nou mooi in plak Afrikaans stel. 'n BTW is 'n regressiewe belasting. Dit maak jou armer. Dit teiken alle mense, veral die armes en die werkerklas. Meer mense gaan swaar kry want hulle koop minder en hulle gaan ook minder geld hê om kos te koop. 'n Verhoogde BTW kan lei tot groter inflasie en groter werkloosheid. 'n BTW-verhoging is nie 'n goeie ding nie, want dit straf die mense wat reeds in Suid-Afrika swaar kry. 'n BTW-verhoging is 'n bewys dat die ANC-regering is uitvoering met die armes en die werkersklas en met die breë publiek in Suid-Afrika. Die koste om net aan die lewe te bly is erg en mense kry bitter swaar in Suid-Afrika. Die DA is vandag hier in die hof om die BTW-verhoging te beveg, want ons gaan die saak wen. Ons veg nie vir die DA nie. Ons veg vir die arme mense en vir elke landsburger in Suid-Afrika. Dis nou tyd om te sê, genoeg is genoeg. And the only way to scrap VAT is to win this case here in the court in Cape Town. And win we will. And those smaller parties like Bossa, X&SA, and Rice Mzansi, who voted with the ANC to increase VAT, they must take responsibility because they voted with the ANC to increase the VAT, and voters will punish them. And so we will win this case in the court, want ons veg nie vir die DA nie, ons veg vir die mense van Suid-Afrika. En terwyl Ramaphosa die ANC eerste stel die DA vandag hier met hierdie hofsaak die mense van Suid-Afrika eerste. En ons is hier in hierdie hofsaak om te veg vir die mense van Suid-Afrika. En daarom vandag in hierdie hof gaan ons hofstukke hier bespreek, omdat ons ook gaan veg vir die grondwet van die Republiek van Suid-Afrika, want die ANC het ook met hulle planne die grondwet van Suid-Afrika geskend. Hier is 'n ernstige grondwetlike en 'n konstitusionele krisis, en daarom is ons vandag hier in die hof. En ek wil sê dankie aan al die mense wat ons ondersteun, wat die petisie ondersteun het, en al ons mense hier agter wat sê genoeg is genoeg. Dankie dames en here. Hierdie saak is 'n saak wat die DA namens die mense van Suid-Afrika gaan wen, moet wen, wil wen en sal wen.
Wat sê Dr. Meyer? Genoeg is genoeg. Genoeg is genoeg. Honestly, people, South Africans do not have money, and this is not something that the Democratic Alliance is saying. This is something that the Republic of South Africa has made it clear to the ANC and to Godongwana that you've had 31 years of having to fix the fiscal framework, of having to fix this country's budget and making sure that the people's money is used accordingly. Instead, you've done so wastefully. And now you want to play catch up, and the people of South Africa must pay more for VAT via taxes to help you catch up on your mess. And South Africans and the Democratic Alliance are saying, no, we will not have this happen, not under our watch. Now, technically, there are two parts to this thing. Today's case is on the immediate interdict and on the process that was followed by Parliament that was flawed. I'm now going to hand over to our DA spokesperson on finance, Dr. Mark Burke. Viva Mark Burke, viva! Viva!
Some of you in the media might have read that the DA is now polling as the largest party in South Africa.
Word.
And with the Cape wind blowing and the DA's latest polling, it felt like an appropriate moment to quote a young Bob Dylan when he said, "The times they are a-changing." So as the DA today, we are here to say we are opposed to going down this ailing ANC road that leads to nowhere. We are opposed to a debilitating and bulldozing budget that will lead to further poverty, as a result of taking money from people who can't afford it and giving it to people who don't know what to do with it. We are opposed to a bulldozing budget that will lead to more South Africans wondering why their house values have gone down for another year in a row, year after year. And we're opposed to a bullying budget that will force young people to realize that they will be poorer than their parents. And we're opposed to a bleeding budget that will make it cost more for people to get to and from the little work that remains within our borders. But I want to make it clear, we're not opposed to a budget under any circumstances and under all conditions. The DA was in favor of a budget that would focus on new infrastructure investment, on a budget that has no further bailouts for failing state-owned enterprises, and on a budget that prioritizes spending where it's needed the most. So we're not opposed to a budget under any circumstances, but we are opposed to an ANC VAT-based budget. And while we've assembled an excellent legal team, sitting in front of a well-regarded bench of judges today, and while we pray for a favorable legal ruling today, we realize that a court victory alone will not bring the change that we need. In the end, politicians will have to pierce their pipe dream plans, and their outdated ideology has to go, and confront the problem facing South Africans, the enormous problem facing South Africans on the ability to afford to live. And so, I ask whoever's making the decisions in the ANC, under whatever Soviet sand they've stuck their heads into, to simply answer this. How many years does one party need to hear our people crying? And how many times can you just turn your head away, pretending that you can't see?
Sure. Yeah, that caught me.
Yes.
Colleagues, we're going to go inside. And the arguments there, I want to remind all of us, are very clear. On behalf of the Republic, with the Republic, the Democratic Alliance is saying, if nobody is interested to represent South Africa and fight for their interests, count on the Democratic Alliance, because we are here and we will fight for your interests. Yeah. Inside the arguments as to make sure that Mama can put food on the table, is to make sure that when Papa goes to work, he can come back and be able to afford school shoes for their children. Is to make sure that at the end of the day when payday comes, we're able to put food on the table and take our kids to school at the cost of our liking. Is to make sure that young people, when they go seek job opportunities, they're able to pay transport fares that are affordable. A tax increase is a direct threat against this. It is a direct threat against the hopes and aspirations of South Africans who want to experience freedom in this land, our land, South Africa. That is the fight that we are here for. That is a fight that we are relentlessly fighting for. That is a commitment that South Africans made. When we said we're going to rescue South Africa, we meant that in government, not under our watch, will South Africans have a tax increase that does not make sense. Because ultimately, we do not have a revenue collection problem. We have an expenditure problem. And so we're saying to Minister Kodongwana and the ANC, cut the waste, cut the fruitless and wasteful expenditure, cut everything that is not necessary and spend your money in accordance to what is in the best interest of South Africans. The money is there, cut the waste. We have shown you where it is. That is the fight here today. the media, we are going to go inside now. I'm not going to open up for a round of Q&As. If you do want to have...
Thanks for watching. Join the mission to rescue South Africa. Like and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. Join the DA, because the DA gets things done.